Hi everyone and welcome to my craft room. My name's Julianne Richards and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in southern Tasmania. Thanks for joining me today. I'm doing this one as a pre-recorded video for a couple of reasons. Firstly, because I have a new camera, a new phone and a new lapel cam, so I'm sort of wanting to test both of those out and make sure they work. Plus also I'm doing some things just as I go, just off the cuff, so I sort of want to make sure they work out as well, but mostly before testing the camera and the lapel cam. So bear with me, I'm just going to check my video has some sound. Let's have a look here. Oh, okay, so definitely some sound there. Let's hope that continues. Okay, so today I'm going to show you the paper pumpkin for November, which is the Joy to the World paper pumpkin. This is the box here. I've got everything out of the box already because I've been playing with it, and that's what I'm going to be showing you today. So yeah, it's a lovely set. It's not your traditional Christmas, what I think is your traditional Christmas images. But it also means that there's a couple there that you could use all year round if you wanted to. Now the good thing with paper pumpkin sets is that they come with everything you need to create the cards. All you actually need is a block, and you can grab those from me as well, you know, when you order your kit. I have a special offer at the moment. I have a brand new unopened kit here somewhere hidden away in my craft room, and if you place an order with me for Australian customers, if you place an order with me online before Wednesday next week, and that order is over $50 Australian, you'll go into the draw to win your very own Joy to the World paper pumpkin kit, free of charge. So go for it. That's a really good offer. I have a few offers going at the moment. So if you pop onto my Facebook page, I'm sure you will you'll check them out. I have a workshop with rewards that can be won, and I also have a giveaway card kit for all customers, which is a really cute little Curvy Creations one this month. So anyway, it seems to be quite nice. I quite like that. That image looks good. Might need to straighten it up a little bit, or it's going to drive me mad. Let's just do that. That looks a bit better. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's get crafting. So what I thought I'd do with this paper pumpkin is make two of the cards up the way they're designed for the set. So there's actually 8 cards in all. You get everything you need to make the 8 cards, 8 envelopes. It's actually 4 of 2 designs, so there's 2 designs and you get 4 of each. So I'm going to make 2, so 1 of each, the way they're on that piece of paper there, and then I'm going to make a few just as an alternative, just so you can show you how to mix them up a little bit for something a little bit different. Okay, but first of all we'll make the 2 the way they're intended, and I'll be able to, as part of that, show you all the aspects of the set. So we'll start with this one. So as part of the set you get the 8 cards, as we mentioned. They're a really nice sort of craft design with gold embossing on them. So you've got 4 where the embossing goes sort of that way, sort of horizontal on a portrait card, and then you've got another 4 where they are vertical. So horizontal on a card and vertical, so going different ways to each other basically. I made a hash of that. I'm just pointing out, just forgive my band-aids on my hands. I have a tendency to dry fingers anyway, but we're back in the office at the moment after our lockdown, and with all the hand washing and sanitising, my eczema's got quite bad, so I wanted to cover that up so you don't have to watch that today as well. Okay, so we're going to start with one of the cards where the embossing goes vertically on the card. You also get, as part of the set, these beautiful Whisper White embossed panels. It's like a woolly jumper sort of embossing. I don't know if you can see that in the light. I'll bring it up nice and close. Hopefully my new camera will pick that detail up sort of quite well. Anyway, you get 4 sort of rectangular pieces, and you get 4 sort of square pieces there, which you use on the other card. So with this particular card, you basically just, and I've got to bring in my own instructions because I only did one of these. You're basically going to bring in this rectangular piece, and we're going to be popping that there. But first of all, you need to wrap some twine, which is always the bit I forget, as you guys know. We need to wrap this beautiful cherry cobbler twine around, not central, but sort of just below central. We wrap that around a few times and knot it off on the side here. You could do a bow, but I haven't quite left myself enough there, so we'll just put it in a knot. So that's gone around twice. And we'll just tie that in a knot. Here we are. That's okay, I can tighten that around the back. I'll put my dimensionals on. There we are. There we are. So I might just trim those edges those ends when we're done. Okay, so then we're going to bring in, you've got these little die cut, they're already die cut and partially stamped little wreaths here. Not that I thought I'd ever be happy to see another wreath, given the numbers that I've done recently. And what you do is you bring in the stamp set, you have another little wreath there. And the stamp set's really cute, actually, as I just mentioned. It's obviously got your Merry Christmas and your Happy Christmas sort of sentiments. Well, this cute little flower, and I've actually seen some really nice non-Christmas cards done with this really cute little flower, so we might do one of those for a later video. Anyway, we'll do that. So we're using the wreath here, which I've already got blocked up. And then you grab your Just Jade ink. Now the set does come with a little Just Jade ink spot, which you can use. As I say, the kit comes with everything you need. I'm not going to open that, I'm just going to use my large size one. And it's basically what you do is you ink that up with the Just Jade and just stamp it over the top of the existing image. I'm going to try and position it so I don't cover over too many of those cute little berries. There we go. How's that? There we are. So you can see it adds the colour, it lifts the colour while you've still got the background of the softer green and the berries there. So then what we're going to do is bring in our cardigan, not our cardigan, and we're going to, okay, she says just having a closer look, going to pop that, and I think that looks like it's on dimensionals, yeah. So we'll pop that on dimensionals. You get a whole big sheet of large dimensionals, so we might do that. Actually, I'm going to glue down our panel first. So you, instead of glue, you actually get these little glue dots with it, so you can use those, but as I say, I'm going to use my glue. Just glue down the pull that in. Since I've made that a bit loose, I'm going to pull that in and I might just pop a bit of glue over it so it doesn't look so loose on the other side. So we'll pop that in the centre there. It's just a bit tricky to tie bows at the moment with my injured fingers and my band-aids. Anyway, that doesn't look too bad. Okay, so then we'll bring in our dimensionals and our wreath that we've stamped. Pop some dimensionals. It's really good that you get a whole pack of these a whole sheet of these dimensionals with this one. That's going to last you a long time. Okay, now we'll bring that in and we pop that over Okay, and so then with this set as well, with this little kit, you get these beautiful gold laser cut wordings and banners. So the words are harmony, which is peace, amour, which is love, and joie, which is joy. So we've got love, peace and joy in 3 languages. So you've got quite a few words there, as you can see. And if you have a German friend or a French friend, you can use the German sentiments. And obviously even in English sometimes we use the French when we're trying to be a bit snazzy. So you could use amour or paix instead of the English versions. But you can get all of your cards made with those, no worries at all. So I've picked the piece here. So it's a lovely gold laser cut piece. And then we have these little, it already has cut all your, it's just everything you need. It's already cut your little sentiment boxes as well. So we're going to put peace there with some glue. And then we're going to stamp to the world on this little one and just pop it over our wreath, just like that on there. So that's, and that, look guys, that's as easy as it gets. There is nothing complicated here at all. So as again, I'm going to bring in my Just Jade. Give that a go. Pop that onto our little pre-cut sentiment box. It's even got a really cute little stitching to it. So it's not just a piece of cardstock. It's actually quite decorative. I'll just show you that. Here we are. Make sure I'm under my camera. Yeah, joy. Yeah, so it's going to be peace to the world. You can choose the other ones that are there. I'm going to pop that on there. So we'll just glue. I might use the little glue dots on the piece, just to show you how easy they are. And just take off their little backing. Came off with it, and pop it onto the word. So I'm going to just pick the bits that are bigger, sort of parts of the word that are bigger, just so you don't see too much behind. So where do I put that one? Put that one there. Put another one here. So they're just like a dimensional. You take the cover off the back. So just popping them. Just along the end of this word. And then I will just take their little backs off. This is a wonderful set for beginners. It would be a wonderful set if you have a beginner stamper in your life that you'd like to buy a present for Christmas or just before Christmas for. You know, it's guaranteed success basically, which is what we love with Stampin' Up stuff, that you can get it right first time, every time. Okay, and that little to the world, I'm going to pop that on a couple of dimensionals just to give it a bit of extra lift. I have to make sure I put it where the wreath actually is. No point leaving it hanging. There we are. I don't really think it needed to be on dimensionals, but that's fine. You can make your choice either way. Just give those a little bit of edges, a little bit of a trim. A little bit too long. There we are. Okay, so there's the first of those designed cards, the ready-made design there. Just that, how easy was that? Just some glue dots, and you're done. So what I'm going to do is pop the other sentiment, the nice big wishing you a happy Christmas filled with love and laughter. That's so sweet. I'm going to pop that inside. And get a nice big block for that one. Oh, where is the nice big block? Forgive if this crashes. Oh, there it is. And then again, we're using our Just Jade to do all our stamping. Pop that one in there. And while we are stamping, I might just show you this little cute flower here, this little one here. It's really, really nice. I'll just pop that on the inside as well. There we are. So that's really sweet. It's basically the image from the die cuts, but a little bit smaller. And obviously you can colour that one in yourself, but I think that's quite sweet as it is in the Just Jade ink. Okay, so that's the first one. That's the first of our pre-designed cards. Let's do the second one, and then we can get a little bit creative. So the second one uses the vertical card base, and again it uses these square sort of embossed panels. Some of our cherry cobbler yarn uses 2 of these little flower die cuts, and these are really sweet. So they're a larger version of the one we just saw that I stamped. And then we've got a beautiful gold banner like that, and a larger sentiment box like that. So just, yeah, just really lovely. And as you're going to see, this one's just as simple. So for this time we're going to get our little square embossed panel, and we're going to glue that, or glue dot it if you're using out of the kit, onto our card. We're going to do it as a landscape card. Pop it that way. It's not quite square, it's actually slightly rectangular, but we'll pop it this way. So you pop this one over to the left hand side, not straight in the middle. Then we bring in our, what do we do now? Then we bring in our yarn and just wrap that around your fingers a few times. And we're going to pop that on there. Just like that. I might just, if it's going to stay, I'm just going to leave it there, and I'll actually glue dot it down with the glue dots from our, oh, it doesn't want to. I might use these little glue dots since we've actually got them. Do that again. Okay, just gather those together and pop a little, if that's going to take. Might be a dimensional, I think, guys. That's nice and big. Apologies for this. You guys know I have trouble with my strings and ribbons sometimes. So I'm going to pop a glue dot on there, a dimensional, to keep that on there. And we're going to be covering them with our little flowers anyway, so, and I know roughly that's where our flowers are going to go. So bringing those in, I'll take the backs off those, bringing in our flowers. We're going to have one up here and one down there, just like that. So I'll add some more dimensionals to the back. Hopefully not on the spot that I've just put that other one. Oh, I think we're safe. So one there. Oh, apologies for that. Just make sure that hasn't moved too much. No, that looks all right. Okay, so the same with this one. I'll be interested to see, if you've watched me before, what you think about the quality of this camera and the sound. If you think it's actually improved the situation, I'd be very interested to know whether my purchases were worthwhile. So we've got both of our flowers there. They are so pretty. And then we'll bring in our banner and our sentiment box, and they're just going to basically go across there. So that's as simple as that one gets. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so I'm going to stamp our sentiment first. We're going to use the Merry Christmas. I'll find a block big enough. And again, our Just Jade ink. We'll glue our sentiment onto our banner, just with a bit of glue in the middle there, because we are going to have some overlap, some hanging out the other end, just like that. Now, because you're gluing onto a gold, it will take glue dots on my finger. It will take a couple of minutes to just set. Just hold it for a second, and then we're just going to pop that straight onto our card, just like that, over those where those two flowers join. So what we're going to need, because there is a bit of overlap there, so we're going to need a dimensional here. I'm looking at the positioning. I'm going to need a dimensional here and a dimensional down here, so that we don't have dimensional pile up, if you get my meaning. Too many dimensionals on top of each other. I think that's probably enough. There we are. Oh, no. What have I done? I think I've put it too far that way. That's better. And down a bit. That's better. Cool. Alright, because it was overlapping the end there too far, so I had to bring it back in a bit. So there we are. That's our, just need a bit of an ink disaster, so I'll just get my mono rubber and just get that off. The best thing for ink disasters is your mono rubber. There you go. So that's card number 2, Merry Christmas, on the front. Again, we can do our special, our second sentiment inside. There we are. And we could put our little flower on there as well if we wanted to as well, but I'll leave it at that. Okay, so that is card number 2, made as it was intended in the kit, or that is suggested. So we've got our 2 cards as per the instructions. And look, they are just perfectly lovely. I'd be quite happy to give those to anyone in my friends or my family. I think they're just so sweet. Okay, and as I said, really, really simple for beginners. And as I'm about to show you, you can step them up if you're a little bit more ambitious. Okay, so I've got 3 or 4 cards here that I found in my travels that use the set and add a little bit. So some of them add a lot and some of them add just a little bit. So we'll just see what you think. I'll just tidy up a little bit. I'm going to be in a horrible mess. Okay. So as I say, place an order with me between today, which is Saturday the 21st of November, and next Wednesday, which is the 25th, for at least $50 plus postage, and you'll go into the draw to win a set of this beautiful pumpkin paper set. Yeah, so I do have one unopened, don't worry, I'm not giving you the one I've just opened and used. Got a nice unopened one there which I will post to you once your order clears. So please feel free, if you'd like to be in the chance to win, go for it. Place an order before next Wednesday. Okay, so let's make a start. So the first one I found when I was working around, it basically doesn't change things very much. It still uses 2 of our little flowers, die cut flowers. It's got the larger of the 2 embossed panels. Plus I have, I think, a 2 by 3 inch, 2 by 3 inch piece of soft sea foam cardstock, which I've just cut from my stash, and a little ribbon that's been cut from the little bow that I've made with the twine. So what we're going to do is just basically add our embossed panel. Like so. And then we're going to be adding our little piece of So Saffron this way. I'm going to stamp it up with that beautiful long sentiment that we had before. Again, in our Just Jade. And the sentiment just fits perfectly in that 2 by 3 inch piece of cardstock. So that's going to sit there. I'm going to bring in our 2 little flowers. I'm just going to pop those above and below our sentiment like this. And you can actually manoeuvre them a little bit so that they cup around your actual words. So they're overlapping them a little bit, but you can still see the words, which is really quite good. So the leaves and things sort of fit into those little gaps quite well. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to glue the sentiment down. Try and get it halfway, pretty much exactly. There we are. And then I'll use dimensionals, foam squares, to add our little flowers. First one there, and another one there. I wonder how this microphone's going. I have to listen back myself later and see if it's any improvement. I feel that it should be. Plus with the new phone, there we are. We've got our 2 little flowers there. Then I'll use a glue dot to add the bow. I'm just going to add that down here. Forgive all that noise outside. One of my neighbours is definitely giving his garden a bit of a going over. Just here with the bow. Gosh, got everything going. Whippersnippering. Everything. Okay, there you are. Okay, so that's a sort of alternate styling on that that first card. And so it's not that much different. All we've basically added is that sentiment box there with the traditionally inside sentiment. And what I might do is add the Merry Christmas to the inside instead. Maybe a couple of our little flowers, eh? It's quite cute. Oh my goodness. Apologies if that noise is getting in the way. Terrible there. Okay, so there we are. So that's our alternate card number 1. You could add some, why don't we add some, I know. We could add some Winter Stella to our flowers. Not that you guys will be able to see very well, but if I add Winter Stella to these flowers, it's going to give them a beautiful sort of shimmer. And we could add some rhinestones as well, which would be good. You can basically dress them up however you want. The good thing is, because they're pre-printed, sometimes when you use Winter Stella, especially on these reds, the colours tend to blend, which is nice. Sometimes you want that to happen. But now, because these are pre-printed, the colours are staying individual. They're staying together where they're supposed to be. I'll just see if you can pick up that shine. Just a little bit of glitter there for our Stella. Thank you, Stella. Okay, so there's our alternate alternate card number 1. Okay, so alternate card number 2, I thought I would do something basically very different, or slightly different. I'm still using the little flower and one of the larger sentiment boxes, but I've cut myself a card base with Cherry Cobbler. So this is my standard card base, 8 1/4 by 5 3/4, and I've scored it in the middle. I've cut myself a white panel for inside, which I'll add in a moment. But I'm also using one of these glorious gold laser cut panels from the Forever Greenery suite. So they are, I mean, that's just a card background all on its own. You don't really have to do much to that at all. So what I'm going to do is I'll grab these glue dots, since they've been so what's the word I'm thinking of? Graciously supplied. Pop them on the back. Good thing my fingernails are growing back. I'm just putting them on parts of the design where there's a fair bit of cardstock. Might just pop them around the edges. I don't think they need them too much inside. If your fingernails are short, you can use your take a pick tool to pick these off, or some sort of whatever sort of sharp implement you tend to use around the craft room. Where did that one go? It's alright, there's plenty here. I'm just been growing mine back. I cut them really short the other day, and they're just growing back, so it's quite good now. Okay, so we'll just rip the little backings off. They are such good little glue dots. Wish they sold them normally. You just get them with the paper pumpkins though. There's sort of a special release for that. So you could just use your normal glue, just put spots of glue around the edge of the die cut, laser cut. But I thought since I have these and they were free, well not free, but with the set, might as well use it. There was one more I popped in there. Okay. We're going to pop this panel in the middle there. And hopefully partially straight at least. There we are. Isn't that beautiful? That gold with that cherry cobbler, that's just to die for. Then fairly simply, we're just going to bring in our little flower. I'm going to pop that on the edge there and then bring our sentiment box. I think I might bring the sentiment under there like that. I'm going to pop the flower up on dimensionals. Here's me saying dimensionals would last for a while, but I'm going through them pretty quickly. That on there just like that. I'm going to stamp our sentiment box with the Merry Christmas. Since I'm going to tuck it up the edge there, I'm going to bring the Merry Christmas slightly to the left so I can tuck the end of the sentiment box up under our flower. As I say, I'm sort of making these up as I go along to a certain degree, but anyway, they're working out okay. And we'll bring that up under there a little bit, just there. So I might just glue that down and let the star of the show be the little flower. Okay, look, isn't that great? That's just so nice. Just the gold of the laser cuts just brought that to life, and so simple. I mean, how long did that take me? Hardly any time at all. So my inside panel there. And our sentiment. Might as well finish it off properly, eh? You can tell which cards my family are getting for Christmas this year. Hope you're not watching this video, guys. You're making your Christmas cards just so quickly. There we are. So that's our second alternate card there. Okay, so I've got two more to show. This one here. So this one's going to use the wreath here, and I'm going to mount it up on some Whisper White and some cherry cobbler. I did want to show you first of all, when you run out of these, it's often when you get these sets, you think, oh, I'm going to run out of those and then I won't be able to use it. So I just wanted to show you how you're supposed to make the wreath. I'll just use this card. I can't find a scrap, so I'll use this little card here, and I'll be able to use it later for an actual card. Okay, so to recreate the die cut here, you need your soft sea foam, your cherry cobbler, and your Just Jade. So we'll bring the wreath on. I haven't tried. You could pop, I wonder if you could couple this wreath with the wreath from the Wreath Builder. I'm going to have a bit of an explore with that shortly. So then you're going to bring in your soft sea foam, and we're going to stamp that first. So you put in the lighter colour underneath. So I'll just pop it there. There we are. So that's the lighter colour. Then the stamp set also has these little berries. So if you bring in your cherry cobbler and your little berries, and then you can basically just pop those around. so that basically, oh, she says, dropping everything. That's basically recreated, if you check out, compare it to our little wreath. That's basically recreated the base layers of our little pre-cut wreath. So then really all you need to do is bring in your Just Jade and the wreath again. Oh gosh, I'm having glue accidents today. I got it on my fingers. No, not glue accident, I mean ink accidents. There we go. Yeah. Anyway, so now, forgive that accident. Everyone has accidents. There you go. I'm not afraid to admit it. Okay, so we bring our Just Jade in, and you rotate it slightly from the soft sea foam one, so you don't want it to too much overlap in the same, and then just bring that over the top. Actually, I might try stamping it off once, because it is quite deep colour. I don't know how that's going to go. This is an experiment. Stay tuned. Yeah, I like it. So there you are. Stamp it off once and you don't quite lose as much of the detail underneath as you may if you went full strength. So that's that little wreath there. Now that's a whole world of cards that you could make just with that little wreath to start with. So we might explore that in a later video before Christmas comes along. So that's what you can do once you run out of your little die cut, your little pre-cut pieces. You can just basically make the same thing with ink and stamps. Okay, but in this case I'm going to use the little wreath, which has gone missing. Here it is. So you can see on the background, on the back here, I actually started with the wreath, and actually you can see I'm quite glad I stamped that Just Jade off, because you can actually, you lose a lot of the detail underneath with the full strength, but with the part strength you actually see it a lot more. So I actually prefer that to that. But anyway, that's flipped on the back side. We're not going to use that. We're going to use the actual wreath. Okay, so I'm going to ignore that on the back and stick that piece of cardstock, she says, not wanting to waste anything, onto the cherry cobbler. So I'll tell you the measurements in a moment, because I can't remember them right now. I have to measure them. So the white is 3 inches and square, and so therefore the cherry cobbler would be 3 1/8 square. It's just slightly bigger. Okay, so we're going to bring our pre-cut wreath in, and we're going to do the same again by stamping it. Oh, forgive the crash. Dropped my ink. Yeah, so we'll ink this one up. I wonder what would that be like if I stamped off again. Let's try. Yeah, actually I think I like it on this full strength, so we're going to do another one full strength, so it'll have a bit of everything happening here. But that won't be a problem, it'll be a little bit more dimensional. There you are. Isn't that nice? Actually that's quite good. Stamped off once and then full strength over the top. Quite like that. That gives it a bit more volume, a bit more body than our first one. Okay, so bringing back our card, I'm going to glue this layered square to the card base, sort of towards the top centre. Then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of our wreath. Somebody started unpacking the dishwasher in my kitchen. That's good to hear. That's the crashing and bashing you can hear. I'm assuming that this microphone is so sensitive you can hear just about everything. Okay, so we'll pop that in the centre. Then I have another one of these beautiful laser cut words, and I'm going to use the love this time. I'm just going to pop some glue on the back, just where there's a fair bit of paper. Actually probably didn't need it on the middle there because it's not going to be on anything. So I'm going to put that love over the top of our wreath there. There we are. And then what I've got is one of the nice gold banners from the laser cuts, and I've actually cut it down to a shorter length. So I've cut it in the middle and sort of brought the two ends together and overlapped them. You can see on the back there, because I only wanted it. I only wanted it just longer than one of the smaller sentiment boxes. And behind that, I've got another panel of cherry cobbler, which I've also bannered. Now, when I banner things, I don't have a proper banner. I use the tailored tags punch, and I just feed. I've got one here. I just grab my tag, my little piece of cardstock, feed it up through there, and just tag it off like that. And it's a good way of getting sort of double use out of your tailored tag punch. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to put that under here, and basically that's that one done. I think I've got a little bow here which I'll put on as well. Just line that up with the edges of your sentiment, with the edges of your box, your square. And then I've got a little bow just with the cherry cobbler twine. Pop that on the back. Oh, that didn't work. I might use one of my normal, where are they? One of my normal, oh, now they're making coffee, great. Oh, the joys of having adult children living home with you. Use my normal glue dots here, just for save mucking around. And then I've got one more to show you, which has gone a little bit further again to everything that we've done so far. So I'm just going to pop that little ribbon at the bottom of our little wreath there. Here we are. So that's alternate card number 3. There we are. So that one's quite sweet as well. It just sort of formalises that layout a little bit. There we are. So alternate number 3. So what have we done so far? 5 cards. Okay, so the last one, you actually get 2 cards out of for the price of 1, so to speak. So what I'm going to do, what I've done, is get the card here, which you open up flat, and basically I've cut 2-inch wide strips from this card. So 2 inches, cut, cut, cut. So you end up with 2 inches strips of 2 strips with embossed and 2 strips with plain. Okay, so what I'm going to do with those is I just made myself some card bases. You can see there's one there I've already made. Get normal Whisper White thick card base, 8 1/4 by 5 3/4, and here I have 2 of my strips. So a strip of the plain, I suppose that's crumb cake when you look at it, and strip and strip of the embossed. So what I'm going to do is just basically glue those to my card base. Leaving a thin border of the white showing behind. if that gap there worries you, you could run a strip of, say maybe a strip of ribbon or something, or a strip of, say the cherry cobbler down the middle there to cover that gap. But to be honest, it doesn't worry me too much. I think it's quite fine. There we are. So you've got a gold embossed side and a plain side there. Okay, so then we're just going to layer it up. So I have, and I think you can see it, I have one of the embossed Whisper White circles. And I've just used my circle dies to cut that with my die cutting machine, my cut and emboss. So it's just a circle of that embossing. So I'm going to add that straight to the card. So over to the right hand side and slightly higher than middle. There we are. Okay, so then I've got one of our little flowers. I'm going to add that. Oh no, I've got a 1/2 inch wide and 4 inch long strip of cherry cobbler. There we are. So that's what's going on next. So just kissing the bottom of that little circle, just showing a little bit of the white through across the top, across the bottom. Here we are. Okay, now we're going to bring in our little flower. And pop him just there. There we are. And we need a little word, a little gold word. I thought I had one. Let's see what we've got left. Where are the words? Got joy to the world left, peace. Peace, love. Oh, we've got all of them left. I have joy to the world on the other one, so let's use peace on this one. So I want that sort of on our, that's why we've got our gold circle so we can see, our white circle so we can see that word. Oh no, I don't like peace on that one. I might just go joy again. I've got 2 joys here somewhere. There's the other one. Okay, so we'll just add some glue to the back of that one. Yeah. And then I'm going to stamp, I've got a little sentiment box which I've just cut myself, so it's a 1/2 inch wide piece of Whisper White cardstock, which I don't know about you, but I always have 1/2 inch wide pieces of Whisper White cardstock left, always. And I'm going a bit screw whiff there, apologies that, I'm a bit carried away. So I've got joy, so I want to the world. Where's the stamp set gone? I've still got it there. To the world. So joy to the world. And again, if we can find our ink. Nope, no, there it is. To the world. Okay, so I'm going to actually cut that even smaller than that. I'm going to trim it down so it is the bare minimum size for that sentiment. I'll do it by hand, see how we go. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to use small dimensionals on that one, mini dimensionals, because I've made that quite small. we're just going to attach that. Just there. Here we are. Oh, gosh. I am a disaster with the ink today. Everywhere. I have to leave the craft room. I don't want to do that too much. It's actually taking the colour off. Okay, so there we are. And one last thing, I've got a little bow. So this is actually a double bow. I've taken 2 lengths of the twine and tied them together, or tied them at the same time. So I will, just gives it a little bit more oomph, using a normal glue dot. And I'm going to pop that just there. Here we are. So that's, as I say, that's 2 cards for the price of 1, because I've got 2 there. Because we cut our envelope into 4 pieces, we've got to use 2 of them per card. And then we have that really nice white border showing around the edge. So that's alternate number 4. So that's like quite easily, there's 4 different sorts of cards there. So I'll bring them all in, including the ones from the actual set. Just get rid of some of this stuff. So as I say, you can buy these sets, you can do them just as the doctor ordered, so to speak, just do them as they should. Or you can have a bit of a look around, have a look at Pinterest for some for inspiration. I know that's where I generally go. And you can sort of step them up to being a little bit more individual, a little bit more you. Okay, so there's my 4 alternate cards there. Hope you like those. I love this. I love that gold. Quite like that one too. I think this one I cased from, I think it was Mandy Witherby. So thank you, Mandy, for that one. Anyway, so there you are. So they're all the alternate ones. We'll just bring in the ones that were made as per the instructions. So we have the Peace to the World and Merry Christmas there. So, you know, that is, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 cards there, basically just made in a matter of minutes. And they're really, really lovely and really, really different when you add your own little flair. And I'll just show you what I've got left. I've got, what, 3 of the embossed panels. I've got, what, 4 little flowers and a few wreaths. I've got all this gold, got all that left, and these little sentiment boxes. And of course, because the set comes with envelopes, so I've got all the beautiful envelopes with beautiful colours, the cherry cobbler colours inside, so they're very special and they feel like good envelopes. You can feel them. And what else did I have left? I've got some twine left, and 4 cards. I don't know whether 4 cards. There are 3 cards left, so I could keep going quite happily for another 3 cards there. So amazing. And as I say, forever you will have the stamp set to keep to use this year and next year and beyond. Okay, so hopefully I'll bring all that away. You don't want to see all that. I was just showing you just how much of this wonderful kit you've got left after making even 7 really special cards. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that today. Video went okay. I didn't muff up too much, I don't think. And hopefully my sound and my picture quality are a lot better than previously. So I hope you enjoyed that today. As I say, if you live in Australia, you want this set, it actually will go on special at 10% off if you buy it on the 24th of November. So that's a special online extravaganza day, and this kit is actually included in that 10% deal. So, you know, jump online on the 24th, follow the links on my page to my shop, pop that in, use the host code, and you go into the draw for my rewards, for another kit, all the sorts of things. Really lots of great giveaways this time of year. So thanks for watching me. If you'd like to know anything more about these products, just drop me a message, and I will see you all during the week. Thanks a lot. Bye guys.